Okay, viewers, this is Dr. James WONDUTCH speaking, and it's still Sunday, the 3rd of May 2026, and I'm returning to the previous video, location filming, shooting there, and apparently my battery on my phone just died out. The power went on the phone. That was the reason why it cut out, so I've had to resume recording after charging my phone, so that's why I'm returning here. And I was just mentioning those two ATM cash machines, hole in the wall machines as they're referred to, and that's on the Coventry station, and that's where I am right now. I'll just get an image of that from the front. Obviously it's very annoying when that happens, you know, your power on your phone dies, the battery lets you down kind of on the. And my spare phone didn't actually work either. I had a spare one on me. The camera wasn't functioning on that one, so they both let me down. So so I had to go back and recharge my phone and then attempt to redo another video here, the third video of the day. So let's just go inside the Coventry station. It is a Sunday today, and tomorrow is Bank Holiday Monday, the first Bank Holiday Monday. Actually, there's going to be 2 bank holidays in May, so that's quite good for people out there, you know, workaholics, etc., who might get some time off in May. So let me just get that in for you. The Coventry station wording there, that's the station wording. And there's a directions there if you come out of it. City centre is just behind me that way. So let's go in. So obviously people can commute from here to London and all parts of the country. Not just London, but other parts as well, anywhere in the country. And that's the M&S there. Can you see that? The M&S food shop. And there are boards here, media times or departure times. And that, can you see those boards there? You might not be able to pick up the actual wording. It is a lot of sunlight shining on them, so it might be difficult to read. And that's the departure gates and the entrance gates when you come back to the various platforms. And also, if you want to go to the toilets, so train stations are quite busy, just like airports, you know. I'm usually at the VHX airport, but that's quite a bit of a distance from here. This is more nearer, obviously. It's kind of like a hub, isn't it? Allowing people to continue with their journey, their travels, one place to another. Whether you're coming inwards or outwards. Serves both purposes, obviously. And let me just get the wording in there. Can you see that wording there? Coventry Station. And there's a Greggs there right behind me. And besides the Greggs, there's the same local Sainsbury's. And that's the local Sainsbury's there. Can you see that? I won't actually go in there, but there's a small little Sainsbury's there. So let's just walk towards that customer hub for the visitors, you know, information hub, that cubicle. Might need to put my shades on it when the light's directly facing you, obviously. Do remember to carry your shade when you're driving as well. You know, you could do that. Sometimes it just, you know, the sun comes out from nowhere and then you can't see the road ahead or anything on it. Okay, that's the visitor information. Can you see that? I've done that before, I covered that. I think it's closed right now. It closes at 3 p.m. on Sundays, but most other days it closes at 4 p.m. and it's usually open 10 a.m. Mondays to Fridays, to Saturdays actually. Only on Sundays it opens at 11 a.m. Okay, let's head towards the IBIS. No, it's not actually the IBIS, it's Hotel Indigo. Although there is a Hotel Indigo IBS further up from the VW on Mile Lane. If you're interested in IBIS hotel, I think it's about £85 a night tonight. It's quite cheap today. Depends, sometimes it's over £100. Obviously you have to check on that board, varying rates, or renting a room there or something. Obviously I remember my time at the IBS when my car broke down in Belgium and I was at the St. Nicholas. Thanks to my RSC breakdown cover, my onward travel, I was able to stay a night there at the IBS hotel. And then I made my way to Calais as a foot passenger on board the P&O. I had to carry all my luggage. It was quite a bit of an inconvenience for me, obviously, without my car. So from there, I picked up, when I got to the other end in Dover, via the P&O ferry, I got on a taxi and got to, I think it was Gatwick Airport. I'm not sure if it could have been Stansted Airport. It's one of those airports. And I picked up my courtesy car, which is also part of my onward travel, and I drove that all the way back from the airport. After the taxi driver had, obviously escorted me to the airport. So that was all part of my onward travel and part of my RSE European breakdown assistance, which has come in useful to me on 2 occasions at least, and maybe more. Once I can remember my wipers went out and it's pouring rain. That was at the Alta in Belgium, a town called Alta. I couldn't see anything. I managed to pull over on the hard shoulder and phone them up for assistance, and they got my wipers working, so I could see where I was going. Obviously it was that bad. The wipers had completely gone. Okay, this is the Hotel Indigo. One occasion I was parked at the Oosterdink car park in Amsterdam, and my batteries just went out. It's completely flat, and I had to call them. And the thing with that problem was because it's in a car park, it's obviously shielded for electromagnetic radiation. In other words, you can't even get GPS signal or even a phone call, to your cellular phone. So as a result, I couldn't actually tell when the repairman from the RSC breakdown in European cover would come to my assistance. So I had to actually leave the car and go out of the car park. Anyway, that's the Hotel Indigo. Let me just get that in. The Hotel Indigo. Sounds like Indy, innit? In Harrison Ford playing that role. Remember that one? Indiana Jones. Is it Indiana Jones go? Is it Indigo? There's a colour called Indigo as well, of course. A bit like purplish, that indigo colour, part of the rainbow spectrum. Obviously, he plays that architect. His speciality is obviously a lecturer on archaeology, and that's Dr. Jones, obviously. Dr. Indiana Jones. That's the role he plays. That's the character, fictional character, obviously. Dr. Indiana Jones. Reminds me of that, but it's obviously got nothing to do with that. It's just Indigo Hotel. And anyway, I'll just continue with my subject on RSC breakdown cover. So I would recommend people out there to take, travel seriously and take cover as well, with a breakdown assistance, either through their insurers or separately through RSC or AA or some other company. whatever company is appropriate for them. That's all I can say really. You could be stranded, and obviously you could be in dire circumstances. If your car breaks down, and where are you going to stay the night, for instance, Thanks to my RSC breakdown, I got better cover there than my Coventry home finder, which was useless to me. Remember when I was homeless? And I wasn't homeless till the following month, actually. Actually, I had my car accident in Belgium on the 19th of March 2023. The 19th of March 2023. I was returning home, actually, on my way back to the Calais Eurotunnel, Le Château. I came by Le Château and I was returning back. And obviously I had to miss that journey on the way back because I had the accident early in the morning on my way back with a truck, a lorry, a HGV lorry. So I had to change my plans, obviously. So that's what, like I said, I went as a foot passenger on the P&O ferry the following day. And that was the 20th of March 2023. The following month, I was actually served eviction orders by Coventry County Court, if you can recall, the 26th of April 2023. So that's separate to that. My car accident was actually a month before my eviction date. So they didn't actually have my eviction date set up until a month after my car accident. They probably thought I could just go to a hotel, and like I went into they must have assumed if I could go into a hotel like that, the IBIS hotel in St. Nicholas in Belgium, if I could just go into that, they must have assumed possibly that I'm ready to go to a hotel. When I was at Vine Street, in the council home, my former family council home, somebody must have tipped them off or something. They must assume you could just do that. That was actually only part of my breakdown cover on my car cover. So it was RSC European cover that covered that. It had nothing to do with me having to pay myself and go in. I couldn't actually afford myself to do that out of my own money. Obviously, it was all part of my insurance deal, which came in handy that on that occasion. So obviously I wasn't relying on an accident, but that happened before my eviction date was even printed out, so I didn't even have that letter. But they were following up with proceedings to evict me. They were sending letters in the post. Like I said, after Liz Truss's resignation in towards the end of 2022, and that's when the incumbent Prime Minister was Rishi Sunak, and that's when I had the bad luck, obviously, when he was there at the top. Maybe they used him as a scapegoat, I don't know, so that they can get away with vile acts like that. I think they did it deliberately because he was there at the top. So they couldn't have done that with Boris Johnson around, or Liz Truss possibly. But when Liz Truss was around, I did actually get 3 points on my license, and that's when my clutch went on my car, and obviously then I called RSC breakdown as well, and they gave me a courtesy car. Obviously I didn't need to stay in a hotel. It's only a hotel stay if it's essential. That's obviously, if your car's unrepairable and you're stranded, only then do they actually provide the hotel stay. So that's an interesting point, you see. So I had an accident in Belgium a month before my actual eviction from my council house, my family council house, which was my mother's council home, actually. She was the main tenant responsible for paying the rent there, and they removed her, first of all, on the 24th of November 2021, and I was removed subsequently further down the line, 17 months further down the line, 1 year and 5 months down the line. So that's the maximum I could have stayed there. I expanded it to the maximum stay there, extending it to that length of time. But they were calling for me to get out of there, before, and without even providing me with an alternative place of abode to go to. So that's how harsh it was, and very nasty indeed. Very inconsiderate. They allowed the rent arrears to build up so they could start a court case to evict me. That's the standard routine.